I'm sorry folks, but I'm pretty much just talking to the Yakuza fans tonight. For all the things to like about Yakuza, the most crucial aspect for keeping me engaged is how compelling its protagonists are. Seeing Saejima armed literally to the teeth in his introduction in 4 is what made me fall in love with the series in the first place. Whenever some shit went down, I was on the edge of my seat to see how Kazuma Kiryu would respond to it. That's not something I could say for Tanemura or Shinada or Takayumi fucking Yagami, and my enjoyment of their story suffered massively for it. That was my main concern as the Yakuza series confirmed it would continue without Kazuma. It's a great relief to say I really like Ichiban Kasuga, and for entirely different reasons than why I love Kazuma Kiryu. See, Kasuga is a much more open-hearted character, more relatably human. He doesn't leave his fists to do the talking. He's emotional, expressive, and silly. I was worried that when the character was introduced, he was an attempt to play to the mainstream appreciation of the Yakuza series. That crazy Japanese game where a bunch of mad stuff was happening constantly. I don't think that's what he is now though. He's a great protagonist for a Yakuza game that's about being part of a close-knit team. Kazuma's introversion suited the focus of the earlier games, and it made him funnier and more likeable when he had to closely interact with other people. Yakuza Like a Dragon wouldn't have been a good fit for somebody like him. This is about a tight wee team who open up to each other about their lives, their tastes and their ambitions. It's writing that builds your investment in gameplay where you have to look out for each member of your party and use them effectively in fights. It helps to know why each character likes each other, and it's fun to see how that plays throughout the story. Yakuza 7 has lost none of the series' appreciation for the mundane, and it's the cast of new characters that really sell it. They're the underclass, shunned by their families and employers, finding themselves in a rough point in their lives and mistrustful of others. As they work together, help people and open up to each other, they find purpose. And it all comes from Ichiban Kasuga's childhood desire to become a Dragon Quest hero. The Dragon Quest thing was something that the game adopted surprisingly late in its development, but it's the secret spice that ties the whole thing together. The RPG format really works well for Yakuza. A lot of the series is built on the back of JRPG conventions, and it shouldn't come as a surprise that leaning into it trims a lot of the fat. Yakuza's always had weapon systems, but given how they limited your fighting style and broke after a handful of uses, it never felt worth the effort. In 7, weapons and items have tangible tactical utility in battle. Shops are distinct, useful and worth tracking down. The old systems were built for this and it shows. Yakuza 7 could be a new start for the series. I'd miss the old style, but that's kind of what I want. Slotting someone else in Kazuma's place wouldn't be paying him due respect. This style is what works for these characters and in turn gives the player more investment in the gameplay. I've never considered myself much of an RPG guy, but Yakuza 7 does a great job of reminding me how much I can like them. When the game puts you in a dungeon area, I'm not only reminded of how much I love Yakuza's big infiltration sequences, but how much I've loved dungeons in Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest games. The story about an orphaned hero chasing an enigmatic father figure and fighting well-heeled rivals fits the genre perfectly. RPGs work for stories about groups of friends travelling to fight against secretive organisations filled with massive baddies. Yakuza makes a great RPG. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to love Yakuza after Kazuma's story ended. Now I've been given a whole new cast of characters to root for, I'm filled with optimism for the future of the series. If they keep making them, I'll keep playing them.